guys, so I recently got a really great video request. It was on my last video and someone said you should do a makeup look with no brushes, like only using your fingers. And that comment at last check had like over 100 thumbs up on it, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should go ahead and try this. So this whole face of makeup was done without any brushes. It was a challenge. It does take some different little techniques and strategies to get it done. Also some different kinds of products. I found myself using many more cream products because those are easier to blend out with your fingers than a powder product is with your fingers. And as far as the face goes, you know, it is a little intimidating because I've got some stuff to cover up. My skin is not perfect by any means, and I really do rely on brushes like every time I do my makeup. So maybe this could be like an emergency look if you lose your brushes or forget your brushes somewhere, or maybe this is just pure entertainment to see what I can do with these lovely unmanicured fingers. I honestly have been so hesitant to paint my nails because now having a newborn, I feel like the moment I start doing that, there's going to be some kind of crisis and I'm going to be like, ah, my nails are wet, what do I do? But anyway, here's the look. I hope you enjoy it. Alrighty, so I've already moisturized and I'm going to start off by using a really skin smoothing primer. So when I'm using my fingertips to blend everything out on top of it, it has a good chance of going on evenly and really smoothly. And sorry about that, let's silence the phone. So this is the Garnier Skin Renew 5-second blur, and I've used this a lot. I'm actually almost out of this product. It has a very, very similar feel to the Mally Perfect Prep Poreless Primer, if you've tried that. Just kind of a drugstore dupe. For my foundation, I'm going with something kind of light in the coverage department. I'm not saying you can't get even coverage with a foundation just using your fingers. I think you definitely can, but I've spent so much time using those full kabuki style buffing brushes to blend my foundation in. I do feel like I'm not as good using just my fingers. So I'm going to use a foundation that's a little lighter coverage. So if it isn't on perfectly and absolutely 100% even, there's going to be less of a chance that you can tell that. So I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, and I am Intensity 2.0 in this. This is a thinner consistency, I think, compared to regular Double Wear, and definitely thinner than the Double Wear Maximum cover. I'm just blending with my fingers, and I can feel it going on super smoothly over that primer. And one tip when you are blending, you know, your foundation in with your fingers, continue to take it down, you know, below the jaw, down onto the neck, and keep your fingers together so that way you have less of a chance of a streaky look. And I'm just going to apply a little more to the forehead. I can't remember the last time I put on my foundation without a brush. It's probably good to try this every so often just in case, you know, the brushes get stolen, or I don't know what kind of thief is going to come into the house and just take my makeup brushes though. I've still got some areas I want to conceal. I'm using my Sonia Kashuk concealer palette. It's the Hidden Agenda. This is the light version, and so I'm going to kind of be going between these two top shades here. One's a really light concealer, one's just a little bit more of a skin tone match. First off, I'm going to take the lighter of the two and really work that into my innermost corner here. And something I almost always like to do with concealer is set it with a little bit of powder, but it's definitely harder to set something with a powder when you don't have a brush to use in the powder. So I'm choosing to use a concealer here that's not like the most emollient creamy concealer, so it won't require as much setting. I'm going to take a little bit of that lighter shade down the nose as well, kind of acts as a highlight. And then for the skin tone, I'm going to use that around some of my redness here. Again, this is this shade now. I'm going over any evidence of the melasma that I can still see. And then I wonder what would happen if I just went into that powder, that little setting powder that comes with this, and maybe just dabbed with my finger, like right around this inner corner. Would it go on evenly? It's going on kind of even. How desperate are you to set your under eye concealer when you have no brush and you still insist on doing it with your finger? At least I'll have just a little setting powder there because I'm pretty much going to skip doing any sort of powder all over the face. Now for my bronzer slash contour, I'm using a product that I think goes from sort of a cream to powder state, so that makes it pretty easily blendable on the skin. And I mentioned this in the Sonia Kashuk video, but this is the Undetectable Cream Bronzer. This is the Rich Bronze shade, so the deeper the two that I have. And I'm just going to get some of this with my finger, and it does have a really like lightweight feel. And I'm not going to apply too much, but I'm going to really carefully kind of blend in circular motions right here in the hollow of the cheek. I think a big key when you're using just your fingers is not to over apply product, you know, because it's probably going to be a little more challenging to blend it out. So don't give yourself too much to work with. And here I'm applying super light pressure. Even though I'm doing circular motions with my finger, I'm trying not to press into the skin too much and mess up the foundation that's underneath. And I'm going to blend some of this up into my hairline as well. And the goal here isn't, you know, super heavy contour, but just maybe a little more of a sun-kissed look up here. And then a blush that I know blends in so easily if you're using fingers. I like using this with my small stipple brush as well, but the small stipple brush will not get picked up in this video. This is the Maybelline Master Glaze blush stick. This shade is Pink Fever. It's a really nice, fresh, bright pink. And so I'm just gonna get a little bit of that here on the cheeks. And again, I'm doing like a circular motion, but not pressing too hard into the skin. And this is a great choice if you're not going to set your blush with anything, because this does not stay like tacky on the skin. So getting it right there, kind of on the outer part of the apple of the cheek. And then just blending it out. I grabbed a cream highlight stick. This is What's Up from Benefit. And this is just kind of a champagne-y type highlight. It's not too tacky either. You know, it doesn't give me a lot of texture issues. So I'm going down the nose with some of that. I'm going to also take a little bit of this up under my eyebrows, although I haven't done my brows yet. A little bit on the Cupid's bow area. And a little bit right here on the tops of the cheeks. Now moving on to the brows, since I can't use any of my brushes, and I'm also banning myself from the little brushes that come in my brow kit that I use all the time, I'm just going to stick to a pencil. This is the Estee Lauder Automatic Brow Pencil in dark brown. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I've just really come to enjoy filling in the brows with powders. 2 tones of powder, one lighter, one deeper. I don't know. I think it just works. I just realized you might be able to hear Good Morning America in the background. Oops. That'll have to be good enough. All right, did my other eye first, and this is hard. I'm going to start out by using my Milani eye primer all over my lids, just a little bit of that. I'm going to go all over the lid with my e.l.f. Smudge Pot in Back to Basics. So this is a nice golden shade. And you know, this is just a basic cream shadow. This does set to a really long wearing finish. So I think that's really important if you don't plan to set your look with any sort of powder shadow. Then I decided to challenge myself and bring in a deep cream shadow stick. This is Smoky Plum from Avon, and these extra lasting jumbo sticks are really amazing. Like if you want to use them as liner or, you know, smudge them out as shadow, they're great. I will admit it's easier if you put some on and then bring in a brush and kind of blend out the edges, but we're gonna go all fingers here. So what I'm doing is just kind of tapping a little bit of this on my outer corner, get a bit of a blend going. And I'm just like adding a little bit more and then tapping it out with my finger, just slowly building up the color. And then I'm going to get a little bit into my crease as well. I'm going to start just tapping it on and pulling it upward a little. And these shadows like to set kind of quickly. So you've got to just work little by little, blending after each time you apply some. When I was doing the other eye, I just kept fussing with it, you know, applying a little more, going back. Oh, that doesn't look blended, going back for more. It's not easy. It's doable though. And I'm going to take it down on my lower lash line too, and use my pinky, my smallest finger brush, to blend that. And I'm also going to take this on my waterline here too. It's not looking too bad, I don't think. You know, the smudgy, smoky look, that is a thing, right? I'm going to tap on a little more gold right here. And I'm also going to tap it on right up along the border. It's interesting how if you want like that softened out, kind of blended look, I think the key is almost to stipple with your finger. And then I had an idea for how to get kind of a cleaned up edge on this look, and I'm taking a matte shadow stick. This is the Milani Shadow Eyes in Almond Cream, and this is what I'm using. Kind of drew on my brow accidentally there. Using it right up under the brow, And I'm also kind of taking it up under the eye here. And I'm just going to blend that out with my finger, and I think it will give a somewhat finished shape to this look. Man, you got to work quickly though, that stuff sets fast. I'm going to apply some liquid liner. This is the Jordana Color Envy liner in Black Envy. And gosh, I feel like I've been using this liner forever. It's lasted me a long time. You know, the wand actually twisted out of the product, so I think I'm clear to use it. I think doing a little bit of a wing there actually gives the look a more finished edge. And then I'm just going to curl my lashes, apply mascara top and bottom. So I was thinking earlier, if I was truly in this predicament where, let's say I went somewhere and forgot all my brushes and had nothing to work with, I would definitely want to finish off my eye look with lashes, because false lashes, I think, just completely finish the look, even if maybe your eyeshadow blending wasn't total perfection, you know? So I am using my Demi Wispies, and these are from Salon Perfect. I buy these usually in like a multi-pack from Walmart, and just applying my Revlon Precision Lash Glue here. And while I'm waiting for that glue to get tacky, I'm feeling like this is more purpley and darker in the outer corner, so I'm going to add a little more here, trying to get it right without adding too much product so you're screwed. And now I'm just going to pop these lashes on here. And while that glue's getting dry, just one more little tap of mascara at the base. I think I'm going to go kind of neutral on the lips. I've got this golden plum sort of smoky look on the eyes. So I'm using my Tarte Lip Surgeons. This is the matte one in Exposed. And I'm just going to apply this all over the lips. And to kind of neutralize that even more, I'm using my Milani lip liner here in Spice. And I'm just going to go kind of along the outside edges, and it's a little bit deeper than Exposed, so it kind of adds a little contrast. So there's the finished look, guys. It was a fun little challenge to just think about makeup in a different way and try to get things as blended as possible. And sometimes, like with the eyes, I think it's just about distraction. You know, you put on a dramatic lash and then the not so blended eyeshadow doesn't look quite as obvious anymore. Another technique could have been to do just a super minimal eye to make it really easy on yourself, and then go with like a really bold lip. That would have been a nice way to make this challenge work, but I did want to kind of challenge myself with a darker cream shadow there, and I think it worked out okay. So this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with my brushes. Bye.